Hi, Ben Boschel here, Director of the Heel Pain Expert. In this very short video, I'm going to demonstrate how to do a couple of stretching exercises that you can do at home to help you with plantar fasciitis. So I particularly love using this product here. This is called an incline stretch board, and it just allows you to get a bit more out of the stretch than if you're just doing a standing wall stretch. So I'll demonstrate what I mean by that. So technique one, we're just going to stand on the board. And straight away that puts my feet in what we call dorsiflex position, so the foot is pointing upwards. This alone, for some people, will create a bit of a stretch in the calf muscle. But if your calf muscles aren't super tight, you might not feel anything at this stage. We just need something to lean against, so a plain wall is perfect. And all I'm going to do is lean forward and rest my elbows on the wall, just because it's very comfortable and pretty effortless, really. So now I can feel a stretch in the calf muscle. And I'm just going to demonstrate to you where that is exactly. So just behind the knee and just a little bit further down, this is where the calf muscle is, and we want to make sure we get a really good stretch in that muscle. So resting on the wall, and we're just going to stay static and hold this stretch for a minimum of 2 minutes. The problem that I find a lot of people get wrong with doing stretching exercises is that they just don't hold the stretch long enough. Your muscles need a bit of time to start to relax and then start to lengthen. So if you're only doing this stretch for about 30 seconds, you won't feel very much. So I want to go back to the technique, and I'm just going to show you some variations so that you can increase the stretch. So elbows on the wall. If you're feeling a good stretch, then great, just hold it for 2 minutes. We're not aiming to feel pain. Discomfort's fine, but this shouldn't be a painful experience. So to increase the stretch, we've got a couple of options. We can simply take 1 foot forward, which will create a little bit more of a lean, and that's going to increase the angle of the foot. This will stretch the calf more. If you've got plantar fasciitis in both feet, then you're going to need to switch over and do that on the other side as well, so that you're stretching the calf muscle evenly. Another option is to bring the board slightly further away from the wall so that you've got to lean further. This will also increase the angle and give you a deeper calf stretch. And the board also has settings on it as well, so you can increase the inclination or decrease the inclination if you felt that the stretch was too much or painful. So I'll demonstrate that level there. So now we've got a very steep incline, so that's going to be a very intense stretch. You don't need to get to the end of the board, that's not the aim. It's just got just different angles, which is suitable for various people. So that's technique one and its variations. So just to clarify, you want to hold that stretch for 2 minutes. So technique two is really similar to technique one. So I'm going to go back to hands on the wall. Instead of leaning all of my body weight forward, this time I'm just going to push my hips backwards and allow my upper body to flex forwards. Now I'm just using the wall to give my upper body some support. This stretch will move a little bit higher up the leg into the hamstrings, and that's generally what we're trying to feel, is to stretch a bit higher up. So pushing the hips back, keeping the knees straight and flexing forward. This will give you a really deep stretch down the back of the leg. The further down we go, and the more we push those hips back, the more of a stretch we're going to feel. Similar to technique one, we're not trying to create a painful experience, we just want to create that stretch response. You want to hold it for 2 minutes as well for both of those techniques. So I would advise doing 2 minutes with technique one, 2 minutes of technique two,